Hello everyone, Professor Badcraft is here, and welcome back to another Funredstone episode. This is episode 62 of the Funredstone series, and in today's episode, I'm going to show to all of you this very amazing machine right behind me. This is a fully automatic Azalea tree farm. This machine is very compact. It is also very fast as well, and it is also very simple compared to my last version of the machine. So if you want to understand all about this machine and also want to build this block by block by yourself, then without further ado, let's jump right into the main part of today's episode. Alright, before I explain to all of you how the machine works, I need to tell you all of the basic things that you need to know about Azalea tree, because the mechanics of the Azalea tree has recently been changed. Okay, so let's get to it. First, like usual, in order to get an azalea tree, you first need the azalea bush or the flowering azalea bush. To get them, you need to bone meal a moss block, and you're gonna have a chance that a bush will gonna generate on top naturally. The moss block also has another very cool feature, is the moss block can spread the moss to other stone type block such as stone, andesite, diorite, deep slate, you name it. And this is a very useful feature that I'm gonna talk about later on. Alright, so the next thing that you want to know is how to get the tree itself. So in order to get the tree, you need to bone meal the bushes. This include the azalea bush and also the flowering azalea variation. When you grow a tree like an azalea tree, the azalea tree can have these 8 stages. I have labeled all of them conveniently right here, so you can see all of the stages that the azalea tree can have. But what we want in our machine is only these 4 stages right here. The reason why is when you see over here, you can see that this version has more logs than this variation, and the more logs that the machine produces, the more efficient the farm will be, right? So I choose this variation in order for the machine to have better rate, and also make the machine much easier, because instead of dealing with all 8 stages, I just need to deal with these 4 stages, and that simplifies the machine by a lot. You have seen my previous Azalea tree farm, you will know that well, that farm is stupidly complicated, and this machine is much more efficient at harvesting azalea tree. Now, another thing that you need to know before we go into the rest of the explanation is the bounding box of the azalea tree, like any other trees in Minecraft Bedrock. So here's the bounding box, the bounding box for the smaller azalea tree and the bigger azalea tree. And yeah, as you can see, with the smaller version, it looks more like a diamond shape, and for the bigger version, it looks more roundish and more like square on the top. So yeah, that is basically everything that you need to know about azalea tree. Now let's get to the rest of the explanation so you can understand more about how the machine works. Alright, let's talk about the machine. Over here I have two systems that the machine has, and these two are the main system that makes the machine works. So here's a very simplified version of those two systems, and I will gonna tell you how the machine works using this simpler version so you can understand it. Alright, so first let's talk about the bone milling system, which is this system in front of me. This system is very cool, and it's also a lot simpler than the previous bone milling system that I used in my Azalea tree farm. Alright, so instead of going for a detection system, I just went for a clock system because that just makes the machine much simpler. So here's how the clock works. First, you need to bone mill this stone block to turn it into moss block, and also to give the moss block a chance to generate a sapling, aka the azalea bush or the flowering azalea bush. So we just bone mill this moss block right here using that dispenser, and yeah, we bone mill it. And as you can see, the stone block has turned into the moss block, but this time we don't get any azalea bushes. So the next thing we need to do is first break that, so we can bone mill that moss block again. Then we break that moss block as well using these two dispenser, oh, not dispenser but pistons. Then we activate the stone generator to push in our new stone. Then we do it again until we can have a bush on top. So let's do that to bone mill again, and yeah, I'm gonna place a azalea bush right there. So this will gonna be the stage that we want, a azalea bush or a flowering azalea bush right here. Now in order to grow that bush into a tree, I just have a very simple observer clock that activates the dispenser rapidly to bone mill the sapling and grow a tree. And then we just repeat the moss block spreading to generate a bush, and for that bush to turn into a tree, which is very simple. And as you can see with this simplified version, it is very compact, and the actual version is also not too big. So here are all of the logics behind it. I will not go into details because it is way too complicated. Alright, so next let's talk about the harvesting system. The harvesting system is also much smarter than the previous harvesting system in the previous mining machine, in the previous azalea tree farm. Alright, so in order for the harvesting system to harvest the whole tree, I split the tree into three parts: the bottom parts, the middle parts, the branch number one, and branch number two. Alright, so first let's deal with the bottom parts first. To deal with the bottom parts, all we have to do is use the same pistons that is in the bone milling system to push those two blocks like that. And then we just have these two pistons to push the logs to this area and move it to a central location. Alright, so for the middle of the tree right here, I just have here a very simple double piston extender with two double piston extender to grab these two logs and pull them back to here. So let's activate the double piston extender. As you can see, the logs has been retracted to here. Now we need to push these logs to this side. So we do that, and as you can see, these two pistons push all of the logs to here, which is very nice, because now those two logs are out of the bounding box of the tree, and the tree can grow freely. But we are not done yet. We still need to deal with branch number 1 and branch number 2. For branch number 1, it is very simple. We use these three pistons right here, and this sticky piston, and also these three sticky pistons, and this sticky piston to move this branch number 1 logs to here. So how everything works is this. First, we activate the three normal pistons, so we can push the branch number 1 log to the middle, like that. Then we need to activate this sticky piston to grab that log to and pull it to here. So let me go and do that. And now, as you can see, the logs has been pulled back to here. Now we need to pull it to here using this sticky piston. Then we need to use this sticky piston to push this to pull this log to here. So we activate that again to pull the log to here. Then the final step is to push the log using this sticky piston, like that. And now the logs are this branch number 1 log has successfully been pushed out of the bounding box of the tree. Now we just have the branch number 2 logs. So branch number 2 has 2 logs. So in order to deal with them, first we activate this piston to push that log to here. Then we activate the sticky piston. Then we activate this piston again, and as you can see, the 2 logs has successfully been pushed out. And finally, we just have some outer sticky piston like this to some smart pistons to push everything to a central location. So that's basically it. And the harvesting system also shaped in a way so the tree will be forced to grow at max height. So that is another bonus of this harvesting system. It is built in a way so the tree can grow max size and will provide us with max amount of logs. So that is also another cool thing about this harvesting system. Alright, let's talk about the next part, which is like the most important part of the whole machine, and that is the brain of it. The machine can't work without a brain. So here's the brain. It's just a simple repeater clock that we're gonna tell the ball milling system to activate and do the cycle that I just do just a moment ago. Now when there is a tree grows in the system, the comparator will gonna detect that tree because the comparator can detect the field level of this dispenser through solid block using and in this case that is the log block. And this is a very old method of detecting trees. Most every single traditional tree farm has this detection system, and I just use it because it is very convenient. Now that comparator is gonna tell the brain that hey, there is a tree in the system. You might want to turn the ball milling system off. So the brain is like, okay, and the brain will gonna lock the ball milling system using this locking repeater here. So this observer cannot give input to the ball milling system. The next thing that the brain will do is to tell the harvesting system that hey, there is a tree in the machine. You need to harvest it. So in order to communicate with the harvesting system, we have these observer lines to tell the machine, tell the harvesting system that there is a tree in the system that needs harvesting. So the harvesting system gonna kick in action, doing everything that I just did over here. And after the harvesting system has finished, the harvesting system is gonna tell the brain that, hey, I am finished. You can reactivate the bone milling system again. And to do that, I just have here the redstone lines that are gonna tell the brain to start the cycle again. So yeah, that's basically it for the farm. Now another cool features that I add to this machine is a manual mode. And to turn on the manual mode, as you can see here, if lamp is on, then that means the manual mode is on. If the lamp is off, then the manual mode is off. And here's the control lever that we're gonna turn off and on the machine. So on means the machine is active, and off means the machine has shut down. Alright, so yeah, that's the manual mode. Over here I have the chest that you can put all of the azalea bushes and flowering azalea bushes to to store there, to use the manual mode. And one recommendation that I want to make here is you should make a separate farm, a separate azalea bushes farm, and put it into this chest, because this machine cannot produce enough sapling to replenish the player to continue the cycle. But if the machine runs out of bone meal, not bone meal, but bushes, the machine will still gonna work unless the bone meal level is low. Because if the bone meal level is low, the machine will gonna break. So to detect and to warn the machine that, hey, the bone meal level is low, you need to stop. I have here a comparator that runs into this line, and this is the safety lines. Then we're gonna tell the brain that, hey, the bone milling, the bone meal system, the bone meal level is low. You should not activate the machine again until the bone meal level is back to normal. So yeah, this line we're gonna lock the brain, we're gonna lock everything and prevent the machine from working. So that is just a safety measures if the bone meal level is low. Alright, finally let's get through all of the rates of the machine. For the auto mode, you can get roughly 425 items per hour. For the manual mode, you can get around 2000 items per hour, and the machine also consumes around 3000 bone meals per hour. So yeah, it will not, these numbers will not be accurate because of random the randomness in azalea tree generation. For the manual mode is maybe more accurate, but still a little bit random because of the moss carpet. So your rate will not be exactly as these numbers, but it will gonna fluctuate between these numbers. So yeah, overall it is a very decent rate for such a compact machine. And yeah, that's basically everything that you need to know about this azalea tree farm. And now let's get to the next part of the episode, which is the tutorial, and I'm gonna show you all of you how to build this block by block. So that is it for today's episode. I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I do. If you like the machine and the video, then you should leave a like on the episode so I know that you like the machine. If you have any questions about the machine, like why the machine doesn't work, or you have troubles using the machine, you can ask me all of those questions in the comment section. I will gonna read through all of them and try to answer all. And yeah, if you want to see more of these sort of machines, then subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my future episodes. That is it for today's everyone. Thank you very much for your time, and I was gonna see you guys in the next episode of Funredstone. Goodbye and have a great day.